Alright, I'm back with another trailer dissection video, just like I did for the Suicide Squad teaser trailer that was released last year during DC Fandom. I won't be covering characters and backstories or anything like that, because I already went over it in the aforementioned Fandom video, but check that video out by clicking that little gray box in the top, or from the link in the description below. I went in probably a lot more detail than I did in this video, just because there was a lot more to just go over in that teaser trailer. I sort of got all my theories and whatnot out in that one. Oh, and leave a like if you could. Alright, let's get right into this
frame by frame analysis.
So the trailer opens up with the Suicide Squad composed of Rick Flag, Peacekeeper, Polka Dot Man, King Shark, Bloodsport, The Thinker, who I don't believe is actually on the team at all based on a later scene. He seems to be some sort of asset that they've either been told to extract or capture. He's probably working with the weird science military organization that are in this giant tower that I love so much. That's a throwback joke to my teaser trailer video, so now you have to check it out to understand. They're all in the blue bus. There's also the driver, who I still have no idea who this character is. I'll talk about him a little bit later. I can finally make out what Rick Flag's t-shirt says. In Spanish, it reads, "Obstáculos son oportunidades," which translates to "obstacles are opportunities." So hey, he's looking on the bright side, which is always good to know. The squad is on their way to save Harley, who, based on her attire and the context of her escaping, is probably after this scene from the teaser trailer depicting her just massacring soldiers in a small little corridor. Although the setting doesn't particularly match the building on the exterior, unless she was like captured and held in some sort of just underground complex. Next we see a couple of the squad's files. On the top left, there's TDK, aka the Detachable Kid, aka Throwing Dick Kid, aka Arm Fall Off Boy. Harley Quinn's file from what I think says something Group Uniting Superhumans. I think it might say research as that first word that I couldn't make out. I can't quite tell. But it sort of just seems like it's some sort of parent group to Task Force X, I would assume. We also see some crimes that Harley was convicted of. She was charged 1 year and 1 month for vigilantism, which might be referencing Birds of Prey or just her continued adventures as an anti-hero. 3 years for kidnapping, 2 years for extortion, 2 for destruction of property, looks like maybe 17 for attempted homicide, and I can't quite make out how long for possession of illegal weapons. Next to Harley's file is Mongal. Her race/ethnicity is alien, and her charges include mass homicide, war crimes, crimes against humanity, destruction of property, aiding and abetting, and threatening an officer or something, I'd imagine. Amanda Waller is back in her trademark command center with all of her big ol' computer screens. Most show some sort of statistics. 2 have satellite maps to whatever Latin American country the squad is being sent to. It might be Corto Maltese. I theorized 3 other ones in my teaser trailer video, but I don't really think it'd be those. Corto Maltese is the country from The Dark Knight Returns that Superman gets sent to like suppress this rebellion. Before he has to go stop a nuclear bomb from blowing up. And we know how much Hollywood loves The Dark Knight Returns, so it's probably that one. In the bottom left, we see an in-helicopter camera of the squad. Boomerang, Javelin, Harley, Savant, and the rest can be seen. This is the same helicopter we saw in the teaser trailer, which the squad jumps out of and into the ocean, where they then swim to shore and confront the military/militia. Another scene shows the bus arriving at a compound, probably like the general's home or something, or like I don't know, just some sort of military building that they've taken over and fortified. Bloodsport looks like a goofball, wearing his xenomorph helmet and gauntlets. I assume his abilities to just conjure up any weapon he can think of into his hands can only work if he has those items like on him. There's also a little kitty cat underneath that Humvee. We see Ratcatcher 2 in her civilian attire on a balcony in the same city/town as the previous scene, although this doesn't necessarily mean it is during that scene, but I guess it would make sense for the squad, whoever is left, to, split up during this mission to take different duties, yada yada yada. The scene of the squad preparing to free Harley is interspersed with Amanda Waller in the control room, but come on, these are clearly 2 different scenes just pasted up next to one another to make them look like they're happening at the same time. That's just the power of trailers. Bloodsport and Peacemaker just look ridiculous. No other notes. The little twist that Harley actually having escaped long before the squad showed up is interesting because she and Bloodsport introduced themselves to one another, meaning they've never met before.
Harley Quinn.
Bloodsport.
In the teaser trailer scenes, we never actually see Bloodsport and that squad that gets sent to the beach. And based on what we see later in this trailer of the squad getting a debrief, I'm thinking that this team is sent in first, they fail horrifically, and they all die except for Captain Boomerang and Harley. I hope Captain Boomerang doesn't die. I am assuming that it's going to be some sort of fake out if he does die. Boomerang has been the only character to appear on basically every iteration of the Suicide Squad in the comics, and I think his character was one of the very few well-received aspects of the 2016 film. Except for that weird scene where they say he, like, masturbates with a unicorn or something. Up next is a team-up scene featuring the ill-fated squad. Savant is in this, like, weird outdoor cell thing. I'm not too familiar with Savant, but I don't think he really has any powers that have to do with trajectories or angles or predicting them or anything. Although, it may just be from his super intelligence that he's able to, you know, figure out where to throw a ball to get it to bounce perfectly back to him, or he just has a lot of time on his hands because he's in prison. Pete Davidson is Blackguard walking around with his prison Crocs and toilet paper stuck to him as Amanda Waller's voiceover informs one of the squads that if they are successful in their mission, 10 years gets reduced from their sentence. In the next scene, we're looking over the shoulder of someone who looks like Bloodsport. It's Weasel being a gross weirdo. Maybe this is like Bloodsport arriving at Belle Reve prison and he's getting escorted past the cells. Or maybe he's getting taken to, I don't know, get the bomb in his neck and he's walking past all these prison cells or something, who knows. I can't imagine this happens after the team gets sent away, because Weasel is definitely gonna die. Amanda Waller leads Savant to a courtyard. Perhaps this is his outdoor cell, or this is after he gets picked to be on the first squad of the film. Savant is definitely gonna die. I went over it in the teaser trailer dissection, so check that out for more detail. But in that teaser, some storyboards are visible showing Savant freaking out on their first mission and running away. And you know what happens when you run away? You end up like Slipknot. Also, this doctor right here who injects the bomb into Savant's neck is John Ostrander, who's the writer who brought the Suicide Squad back and made it into what it is today. You know, a team of supervillains working for a shady government agency. His run on the Suicide Squad is also probably the biggest influence on James Gunn for this film. The Suicide Squad, for whatever mission this is made up of Rick Flag, Savant, TDK, Captain Boomerang, Javelin, Mongal, Blackguard, and Weasel, and possibly Harley Quinn, although she's not in this scene, but she's in the beach scene later, so who knows when she shows up. Speaking of Harley Quinn, the next scene is from the beach mission. Harley fires a rocket right at a military force as a firefight takes place. I can also kind of make out what her jacket says. It's something along the lines of, "Live fast, die clown," I think, which, surprisingly enough, is what my tramp stamp says. Maybe the second biggest reveal of this trailer is the fact that King Shark is voiced by Sylvester Stallone. This King Shark seems pretty dim-witted compared to other versions of King Sharks that we've seen before. I wouldn't be surprised if he does his "I'm a Shark" song at some point during the film. This also does away with the theory that Taika Waititi is King Shark. Instead, I now believe that Taika will be voicing Starro, a giant space sea star that is shown at the end of the trailer. Is this the first time Starro has ever appeared in this universe, or did the Justice League have to fight him like they did in the comics in their very first Justice League issue? The biggest hint that there are two different squads in this film is the scene following this one. It features Amanda Waller giving a presentation to Ratcatcher 2, which kind of makes my previous theory that she was a resident of the Latin American country that they go to and she helps the squad completely wrong. She could still be from this place, but the whole she is like a vigilante person living in the city who takes in the squad, blah blah blah, that's completely out the window now. I was completely wrong. King Shark is there, Polka Dot Man, Bloodsport, and Peacekeeper. This is like, you know, clearly Amanda Waller has to give them a debriefing / rundown of what happened to the previous squad and what this one's going to be up against. There's also this man in a white t-shirt in the background. I was going to say that Rick Flag could be the only one who escapes from that initial mission, but What I think is that first mission goes foobar, everyone dies, Harley Quinn gets captured, Rick Flag escapes, and he runs into Solsoria, who we see later in the trailer, who I am just assuming is like a freedom fighter, I believe. And he like teams up with her. The second Suicide Squad is then sent in, they find Rick Flag, he takes command, they go save Harley, and then this leads into them attacking the big Citadel tower. Also, Polka Dot Man is way more depressed and nihilistic than I expected him to be. We see Rick Flag leading the squad across a rocky jungle mountaintop, which could lead into my theory that I just explained in the teaser trailer and in a little bit of this trailer, mainly where King Shark eats that man. There's like this little village. I feel like that's probably like the rebel village out in the middle of nowhere that Rick Flag is in hiding in, and the squad is going there to find him. This happens after they find him, and they set back out on their mission. Then we see a scene that probably takes place after they quote-unquote free Harley, but before the final attack on my favorite tower. I love that tower. Check out my teaser trailer video to witness my obsession with the tower begin. Also, we finally discover the identity of this guy, kind of. I still don't know who it is, I have no idea who this character could possibly be. The actor is Julio Ruiz, and his character is clearly of some importance, based on the fact that he's with the Suicide Squad during this interrogation scene, and during the rainwalk scene. He's the guy in the thumbnail for my other dissection video that I put the red arrow and the big circle around. My best guess is that he's like with the militia that Solsoria is a part of, and he's like sort of like their liaison between the squad and the rebels or something, and they're trying to stop whatever General Mateo Suarez is up to. And they're like, we have to work together to stop this, blah, blah, blah. It's in everybody's best interest. Enemy of my enemy, am I right? Something like that, I'm sure. Or he's like some super duper comic book character that is revealed in like the last 10 minutes. Like he's fucking Etrigan the Demon or something. There's this little scene showing the skyline of the city and the tower in the background. Look how magnificent it is. Also, the only squad members left at this point are Rick Flag, Harley, Bloodsport, Ratcatcher, Peacekeeper, Polka Dot Man, King Shark, and Julio Ruiz's character, who's walking around with like a ball and a catcher's mitt. And the Thinker's there too, obviously, but yeah, I'm not sure how long he's going to be in this film for. We see the squad leaving some sort of battle. Killer Shark has a bunch of like marks on his body, which I think are the little suckers from Starro's tentacle, or maybe it's like the little Starros were attacking him. Or the suckers from Starro's tentacles, like wrapped around him and grabbed him or something. Is that what sea stars have? Do they have tentacles? That doesn't sound right. Appendages? Limbs? I don't know, you get the idea. And a quick pan to the left reveals that this also takes place after the tower collapses, so this could be somewhere near the end of the film. The next scene is the military convoy arriving at the still intact tower. This scene happens before this one from the teaser trailer that shows the tower is partially destroyed. We finally get a view of General Mateo Suarez. He and all of his soldiers look scared, surprised, horrified by whatever it is they see. So I assume that this is taking place as Starro escapes from the lab or whatever. Like they get an alert that the Suicide Squad is attacking, so all the military shows up, the squad fights some stuff, the tower collapses, and then Starro just busts out of there and just starts fucking taking over people's bodies and fighting everybody, and the squad's fighting everyone too in this giant courtyard. And fuck, I don't know how they're gonna defeat Starro. How do you kill a sea star? Do you have to like pour salt on it or something? The second squad treks through the dark jungles as Peacekeeper talks about eating some dicks and his love of freedom and liberty. Interesting part about the conversation right before that is that Peacekeeper calls Bloodsport the leader, so this is before they meet up with Rick Flag. My favorite part of this scene is that Polka Dot Man's polka dots actually glow in the dark. That's cool. It seems to be a tradition that the Suicide Squad takes a respite, because this scene we can see Bloodsport, Rick Flag, Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher, and probably Peacekeeper toasting to something. It's probably before the big final mission and they just wanted to go out and blow off some steam, celebrate, because the next scene is Ratcatcher 2 and Peacekeeper dancing together, and John Cena is wearing his trademark denim shorts. Then we see Polka Dot Man actually enjoying himself and dancing. I still think that Ratcatcher 2 has some sort of history with this city or something, or the country. My theory from the previous teaser trailer video was something along the lines of she was like a test subject who escaped, or her family was affected by the military regime and she was raised by the original Ratcatcher. Maybe this is like a bar she used to go to before she got arrested and, you know, became like a supervillain or whatever. Harley Quinn, Polka Dot Man, and Bloodsport race away from the tower as it collapses. This round hole in the wall makes a lot more sense now that we know that Starro is in this film, and this is probably from him attacking and crashing his big ol' appendages through the wall. We finally see Solsoria. She's in some sort of like high-class mansion / room, probably wherever General Suarez lives, maybe. I still don't really know what's going on here, aside from the theory I posed earlier that there's this rebel cell that will help the squad take down the secret science lab or something. Apparently it's called Project Jotunheim, according to some random page online that I read. Take that with a big grain of salt. I don't know the source of it. But Jotunheim is the realm of giants in Norse mythology, and Starro is a giant sea star, so... Bloodsport charges at Amanda Waller with a pen about to John Wicker. On the map in the background there's a teeny tiny little box to the left of South America, sort of near Ecuador, so maybe that's where this country is. Not necessarily Ecuador, but like, I don't know, a fake country that's in that general area. King Shark just rips a dude in half. We get another scene from the initial beach attack. This time a helicopter crashes. Speaking of crashing, the squad gets spun around inside of... Honestly, I can't tell what the fuck this thing is. And in the process of editing this video, hi, this is Smokey from the future, I realized that this scene of the squad tumbling around is actually inside of this APC from this night shot from the teaser trailer itself. Who knows when this could take place, honestly. I have no idea other than that's what they're in. It's not a helicopter or an elevator. It is, in fact, this armored personnel carrier. We get to see Harley Quinn's killing montage / her escape for the first time with like all the completed effects. She has dried blood under her nose, but in the following scene with the exploding flowers, it's fresh blood. So who knows what's going on there? Maybe it's like Starro or a telepath fucking with her mind. The big beautiful tower gets torn asunder, unfortunately. Ratcatcher 2 and Bloodsport chat on the bus at night. He's wearing his beret, so this takes place somewhere around that bar scene. I cannot figure out where this scene is taking place. I'd imagine the tower, but I'm not too sure if it's at like the base or the top. There's like some sort of mural of clouds, and it kind of looks like a heavenly portal or something is painted in the ceiling. Killer Shark is wearing his little shorts, and he has the sucker marks. So I think this is probably after some sort of big fight. Maybe they fight a bunch of little Starros. They defeat them. The team thinks that they won, but uh-oh, not really. Starro's here now, bitches. And he's the big one. And note that Peacekeeper isn't around. Either he's behind Killer Shark, or this scene takes place after the scene of Peacekeeper and Bloodsport duking it out in an underground tunnel. And finally, look at that! It is motherfucking Starro. Starro, the giant, telepathic, evil, spacefaring sea star, is in a live-action film. Motherfucking Starro. It also begins raining at some point. I don't know if that's from Starro or whatever experiments are going on in the tower, or if it's just raining. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have much else to say. It's sort of just going through scene by scene. There wasn't a whole lot of background details that I personally noticed. If there's anything that I missed, please feel free to let me know. And I would love to see what people think of this trailer and what their theories are in the comments below, so definitely go ahead and do that. Like and subscribe for more content, sort of like this. I mostly do videos on comic books. Speaking of comic books, I also have a 40-page comic anthology that is on sale now for $19.99. It's called Destructo Boy and Other Exciting Tales. It's 3 short stories for the price of $19.99. So check that out if you're interested. It is a limited print run, so pick it up while it's hot. And yeah, I will see you next time. I guess I'm gonna keep doing this for trailers of Suicide Squad only, apparently. If you would like to see me do any more trailer dissections for any other films, please also let me know that in the comments below. I'll see you next time. Bye.